This is from Loveland, Colorado, and it all began on Saturday, May 20th, 2023, at about 8:30 p.m. when police officers were called onto a street in Loveland with reports that a female wandering in and out of traffic and speaking incoherently. And this is the lady that they encountered.
Nothing, just walking along, singing a song.
Just hang out and talk with me, please.
I'm just singing a song.
Okay, are you walking in traffic though? Ma'am?
I'm just singing a song all day long.
Judge, she's walking away.
Is there no freedom?
There is, but...
I can't walk along and sing a song. See, I have the full volume.
Perfect.
So I
Can we get out
can't
of the
walk
roadway
along.
No,
Oh, walk.
You know what I mean? So I'm getting told that you're like out in the roadway.
Oh, okay.
Can you stop with me and just talk with me
There's
just
no
for a second?
sidewalk.
I know. I
So
get
where
that.
do a sidewalk go? Where can I be? Where I can
You
see
don't wanna
the
walk in the
full
roadway,
volume,
right?
don't you see? So where are the sidewalks? Where am I supposed to be? Where is the mark of the deceived?
You just don't want to walk in the traffic.
Where?
Hit by a car.
Well, then where should I be?
Well, where do you live?
There's nowhere for me to be. You don't
Okay.
have no design, no
Let's stay out of the roadway, right? You don't
Oh,
wanna
I'm
come in.
at the roadway, okay.
There is, ma'am. What's going on? Where do you live? Ma'am? Ma'am, do you have an ID?
Hello,
I'm
Claiborne.
just walking, singing a song, baby.
I got you, but you're walking in the roadway.
Well, okay, but there's no sidewalk, is
got
there?
Are you from Loveland?
I'm from all land, you see.
Now, this is not the officer who would later punch her. This is the other officer who was not fired. While there was an allegation that she was walking through traffic, at this point, she is walking through a parking lot. She has answered questions. She has not been observed committing any crime. They have asked her if she wants to engage with them, if she wants help, if she wants a ride, and she has declined. I don't see any reason why they couldn't have just left this lady alone, but they didn't leave her alone.
The land, the air, the sea, from Oceania to Oceania, I divide this disease
Okay.
of the f***ing neon green and the greed of the f***ing obscene, of the f***ing glitter of the hogs. You know,
What can I do for you, ma'am? What can I call you? What's your name?
Angelia.
Angelia?
Angelia.
My name? Officer Hobbs. My first name's Nick. What can I do to help you out?
Hey, I'm just gonna go my way. I'm just
Okay.
gonna take a breath.
Sure.
I got
Is
the
it- can I give you a ride
volume
somewhere?
of the fifth element.
Where are you gonna head to, just so I know you're safe?
Safe?
Yeah, I want you to be safe.
I'm gonna be safe in this place, really? Really? I'm gonna
Hope
be
so.
safe for the better good of you. Dude, who's safe?
I just want you to be like physically,
Would I
right?
be safe?
Just
Is there somebody after me?
not that I'm aware of. I don't even know.
Why would I be safe?
It's just if you're out here, you don't have a jacket, it's gonna get cold eventually.
You know what?
You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
5 degrees. I thought
Where at?
between hotels and friends and
Well, where can I get you to?
wine. So
Well, do you have any kind of like identification on you? Just like an
I already told you.
just your
my
first
name.
name, yeah.
That is my identification.
What's your last name?
Aurora Imperialis. Hey, this is the detection of the day of the sway of the pendulum
what's your
sway.
last
You don't go north today. You keep eating on the scene that way.
Ma'am,
Wondering.
where are you headed to?
The entire legal basis for everything that happens here in this situation is this police officer's alleged concern that he wants her to be safe. When ironically, the only way that she ends up getting hurt that evening was by the very police officers who said that they needed to keep her safe. Clearly she has mental issues, I think. Is there some threshold of mental ability before somebody can walk down some public parking lot? Do we allow police officers to just go stop people and give them some sort of mental acuity test before they're allowed to continue on with their walk? If they are not observing her committing any crime, if they're not observing her acting in some way where she's demonstrating that she's a danger to herself or anyone else, they have no legal right to stop her forward progress, to detain her, just because they have some vague concern about her safety that does not satisfy the Fourth Amendment requirement that police officers cannot see somebody unless they have reasonable suspicion or probable cause to believe that this individual is committing a crime. I suppose one exception could be that somebody is a danger to themselves or others, according to a particular state's mental health statute. But with this footage, I don't think we've seen that at all. While she's certainly unusual, she seems to be able to answer questions. She's not communicating that she's afraid or that she needs the police to help her in any way. Ultimately, they end up taking her into what they term. But as you'll see what happens, she's clearly a very intelligent woman, just mental issues aside. And she gets very, very angry, and rightfully so.
I am walking on my free land.
You are, and I'm not saying you're not
They don't
wrong.
have sidewalks.
Sure.
In the place that I do.
Well, they do.
Sorry,
They do
I
along the
don't
highway.
go by the sublines of the UK's
Tom,
of
you
my
have a
flag. I'm not been
She's not
bad.
willing to cooperate with you. Where are you going to?
It doesn't matter. Why do I have to say where I'm going when I'm just walking in a free country singing a song full volume?
I got you.
Why can't I do that? Is there no freedom today? Have I been sold out to China this way? Our f***ing oil reserves sold out to China, have you heard? You better call in the PSYOPs, you f***ing spy. And if I can't walk in freedom this day,
can, but
just
you're
walking along.
You're walking in front of cars, and I don't.
You come to me face and face, I'm just walking.
I got you. You're walking.
Multiple calls a day.
Now you see Officer Moranto show up, and he's the one who ended up hitting this lady after she was in custody at the hospital. And here, he's the one who then sort of even escalates the situation even more, specifically tells her that she's being detained. All the while, neither one of these officers has observed this woman committing any crime. Their alleged concern is again that there were multiple reports from callers that she had been walking in traffic. Okay, so they responded to the call, they located the woman, they watched her, they followed her, they interacted with her, and they have not seen this woman walking in traffic.
Yeah, it's supposed to, the thunderstorm's supposed to hit here in about
They're
20
still
minutes.
Going to
You can see it out
escalate
west.
the situation with her, somehow protect her
Driving out of
by
it, so
arresting her.
It'll be like an hour
completely
before it hits me in
unnecessary.
Toledo.
Blocking traffic, don't touch me. 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 I'm just walking, singing a song. I'm don't touch me. I don't know.
Ready for this one?
They transport her to the hospital. She's very angry, clearly, and the most important thing that is going on here is that this woman is handcuffed, hands behind her back. The nurse who is in the room with her is apparently very sensitive, and she can't take this woman's profanity, and now this officer is basically gonna white knight this nurse, and he kind of starts to get in this woman's face and sort of provoke her.
You don't you Mark Barado.
Let's watch the language. Angelia, I will not tolerate that language.
Well, I will tell you, I'm not tolerating that I can't walk down the street. Hey, give it back to me.
Gonna have
Hey, I can have it.
Angelia,
Why can't I have a piece of
they have
paper?
policies here. You
Then
can't.
you can take my pants off too. Take my shirt off. Give me my piece of paper. Why can't I have it?
Hey,
Why can't I have the paper, you piece of
Angelia. Hey, Angelia. Continue to
I'll
behave
tell you
this
what
way.
brings me in here today.
Do
I was
not
walking
sit and do
down
not
the
get- I will not
street and
tolerate
these
that.
f***ers
So the last one.
said, "Shit, really? You f***ing handcuffed me?" I mean, with that one. Yeah, see how it is, okay?
Can you speak to me then if you don't like him?
Now, former Officer Russell Moranto would later testify under oath that he did not punch Angelia Hall out of anger or retaliation, but that he simply used a strike to move her face away from him so she could not spit again. He reiterated several times that the strike, not a punch, was a reasonable action. Is that what you see here?
Don't spit. Oh,
See what he does?
The other officer who was right there, Hobbs, clearly didn't agree that his actions were reasonable. In fact, he immediately intervened and said, "Hey, Moranto, chill," and got him away from Angelia.
back off.
See what he does?
Back off.
I want to him. I'm taking him down. I have my hands cuffed. I can't even fight back. I was cooperating with everybody. You guys wouldn't cooperate with me. I was just walking along, singing a song. And when it's 55 degrees, finally nice. You guys don't like my song. You don't like the truth. You punch me in the face when my arms are behind my back. You. Yes, you did. Not you. Your fellow officer. Right in the face.
Then shortly afterwards, Officer Hobbs was interviewed by the supervisor, and Hobbs asks, "Do I turn my body cam off, right?" And the supervisor says, "No, leave it on." Then Hobbs basically punched this lady in the face in response to her spitting.
Turn on camera now. No? In the direction of the nurse staff, I hit the floor. Still verbally and uncooperative, trying to get info out of her. Staff was like, "You know what, I'm not dealing with her. We're leaving the room." She's very uncooperative at this point. So she's yelling at Moranto's standing in front of her. She spits at Moranto, and then Moranto just kind of takes his right hand and across her face. And that's when I took Moranto, grabbed her, and I took Moranto off her and told him to get out of the room. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I think I'd be a tap out as well after all that's happened, type of thing. So,
I'm holding you off this call.
just kind of overwhelmed.
I'm holding you off this call.
All right, that's the end of the body cam footage, and here's what happened afterwards. This police officer, who was still at the time a probationary police officer, and they could basically fire him very easily within the first year. He was within that period, so they went ahead and fired him just within days of this incident. And then there was a criminal investigation conducted by the Larimer, if that's how you pronounce it, County Sheriff's Office. And that was requested by the Loveland Police Chief, Tim Doran, and they ended up finding that there was probable cause to actually charge former Officer Moranto with third-degree assault, a Class 1 misdemeanor under Colorado state law. In Colorado, you commit third-degree assault if you knowingly, recklessly, or with criminal negligence inflict bodily injury on another person. The offense is a Class 1 misdemeanor punishable by up to 18 months in jail and or fines up to $1,000. So the standard is this. Person commits the crime of assault in the third degree if the
First
person
degree.
knowingly or
You just said
recklessly
first
causes
degree.
bodily injury to another
First degree
person,
misdemeanor.
or with criminal negligence, the person causes bodily injury to another person by means of a deadly weapon. So former Officer Russell Moranto was indeed prosecuted for punching this woman. After about a year of the case pending, just a few days ago, his case went to a jury trial. And guess what happened? He was completely acquitted by the jury of third-degree assault. And that was the sole charge that he faced. The jury deliberated less than 1 hour. Moranto testified, "I delivered a single strike to Miss Hall in an attempt to redirect her." He also testified that he became a police officer to help people in need. Nailed it. Moranto's testimony was that the video showed him remaining calm and using appropriate force to prevent him from getting spit on again. "I'm heavily concerned with bodily fluid," Moranto testified. "To be honest, my immediate thought was stopping this and, Jesus, I just caught something. It's not a pleasant experience." He continued to say that he had mere seconds to react and he used his training to stop Miss Hall. This was me acting as quickly and reasonably as I could. I don't like to be assaulted, but there was no malice. The prosecutor, Matt Milero, however, said that the video and other testimony show that Moranto was retaliating against somebody who spit at him with excessive force. It looked wrong, and it was wrong, said the prosecutor in his closing argument. He could have used other non-violent methods to defuse the situation, but he did not. The prosecutor argued that Moranto could not now use his badge and uniform to shield his behavior. Apparently he could. The defense attorney, Donald Sisson, argued that there was no evidence to back up the prosecutor's statements that former Officer Moranto acted in anger or that the force he used was excessive. He pointed to the testimony of an expert witness called by the defense, someone who trains officers in the use of force, who testified that he would have done the same thing. Well, time to look up that guy's use of force record. There's no evidence he had any intent to do anything other than protect himself, his lawyer said. And the jurors apparently agreed with the defense and returned a not guilty verdict in about an hour. Now, the judge has scheduled a hearing on August 30th to consider sealing the records in the case. People wonder why police officers who violate somebody's civil rights aren't prosecuted more often. And this right here is the reason. This is the problem. Because many times when they are prosecuted, it just becomes a popularity contest between the police and whatever unsympathetic victim has had his or her civil rights violated. And it just becomes a jury, basically a jury nullification situation. Whereas here we have it on video, him punching her. He can get up in front of the jury and say, well, I didn't punch her. I just struck her technically in such a way as to redirect her face, blah, 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 blah. Now, he knows he's lying. We know he's lying. The prosecutor knows he's lying. The jury knows that he's lying. The jury knows that the cop knows that they really do get in trouble. It's because they victimize somebody who is a sympathetic victim. When they do something to the town drunk, or to a criminal, or a gang member, or somebody with severe mental health issues, or somebody with a long criminal record, a lot of jurors are going to let them off the hook. But when they do it to a local doctor, or to a child, those sort of situations, you see cops really getting in trouble and then the criminal justice system following through. But unfortunately, a lot of times they get away with it just depending on whether or not the person that was victimized was a sympathetic victim. But at least he was fired. But the last thing that I told you really concerns me, and that's that they're asking the judge to actually seal the records from this case.
So it'd be a
this
copy,
guy,
yeah.
despite the fact that he was fired from this department and he was castigated by his own department and the sheriff's department where this occurred, will just pop up somewhere else. And he'll be able to say, well, I was acquitted at trial. I'd be curious to know whether or not he still has his police certification, whether his certification was yanked at all. I didn't read anything about that in the media. And that brings us around back to my original video. Videos the past couple of weeks. One thing that they cannot get rid of is the fact that this is out there now on YouTube for the public to see. They cannot seal that record. They cannot seal the fact that over 4 million of you watched the first video where I discussed this incident. They're not going to be able to seal the fact that hopefully millions more of you will watch this video and share it with your friends and share it with your family, so that this guy is not going to be able to work as a cop anywhere. I don't care if he testified that he became a police officer because he wanted to help people. We see him on video with our own eyes striking somebody, punching somebody in the face, a woman who was handcuffed, hands behind her back, who, if anything, needed his protection, needed his help. But she was told at the beginning that they just wanted to protect her.
Objects in the road.
They arrested her really for no reason. They put her in handcuffs and ultimately punched her in the face. That is the sort of trust that cannot and should not be given the opportunity to be regained on behalf of the public. But I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments what you think. Was
Dream
justice
Woman. I'll have to check it
served
out.
here?
Drop a link
Do
in
you buy the
Telegram.
story that he was just sort of trying to deflect her face in another direction, that he had no actual malicious intent.
Check out that
Punch
video
her
that
in
I
the
dropped
face
in, or that link I
retaliation for
dropped in
spitting
there.
on you. Do you buy that story, or do you not buy that story? Or do you not buy this story, but you don't care? Because if you were on the jury, you'd let him off the hook.
Pigsy,
If
get
that's
up.
the case, tell me why.
Chopper's
If you're
sending me
on
videos here.
X/Twitter, you can follow me there because I put a lot of overflow content and comments there that you won't find on YouTube. It's at John Bryan ESQ. You can also find me on Facebook and at thecivilrightslawyer.com, where you can subscribe to receiving my videos and blog posts via email. And also, if you haven't subscribed here on YouTube, please do. And if you have been a long-time subscriber, check to make sure that you're still subscribed, because every video there are people that say, I had no idea that YouTube had unsubscribed me. So check that out. Remember, our rights don't end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.
Well, more than likely that's what's coming. It was just starting at the house and I drove out of it. Well, some backed up toilets again. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out one of my shorts. From a few months ago. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to get a little bit of rain. It has actually, as wet as it has been in the past, it's been pretty dry. All right, Exy, hope you feel better, buddy. Yeah, Dirty's got rabies. I've seen him foam at the mouth. What the fuck are you fucking flipping off, cunt? He's fucking yakking with somebody in the car. Syphilis is a hookup. Gotta love it on the east side here. Billboard saying syphilis is a hookup. Encephalitis. Oh yeah, that's kind of like what rabies does cause that. Have you been very thirsty lately? Or I mean, afraid of water? Oh, look the crazies out today. Actually, yeah, you get hydrophobia when you have rabies. When you get to the state where you have the hydrophobia, it's already too late. It can't be treated. Get up to 85 today with the storms. Usually the storms cool it down. That's what they're predicting. It's only 73 right now. It's perfect. found a couple of good pictures that I've got it whittled down to two different Molniers, and I still haven't completely decided where it's going to be yet. I'm sure the wife is going to work on it on the way out there tomorrow. Man, this road. They've redone that so many times, but this road is so old. It used to be brick here. Come on, notice my signal. Please notice my signal. Jesus. Fucking just barely swung out, mister. Oh, just that I've got it whittled down to 2 different Molnier drawings. It's on the camera that I'm streaming on, but I'll show it on the desktop stream. I'm gonna do a quick desktop from work here. Oh, so the wife's probably going to decide. You said a player poker sized card, right? So, oh, this bitch is here to see me. Watch. Look at her attitude. She's going to be waiting at the door when I get in there. Watch.